Bonnie Blue is finally breaking down. That one interview that she had where she was like standing on business, I would have never expected her to get to this point. If you don't know who Bonnie Blue is, she's the girl that slept with 1,000 men in one day. She literally got banned off Friends Only. How do you get banned on that website?
Snap, and it's been coming for a while. She got banned on OF, and that's kind of kicked this all off. That is, by the way, arguably the worst thing you could have done to her. And it's even getting to the point now where she's having to wear disguises to go out in public.
What?
And that might actually be the least of our worries at the
Wait, so what happens if she just pops out like Bonnie Blue? Is she just gonna get swarmed by a bunch of horny men? I'm not gonna lie, if you seen Bonnie Blue in person, what are you doing? I'm acting like I don't know her. I'm gonna keep it a buck. There's no way you're gonna run up. Bonnie, bro, if you run up there, Bonnie, can I get a picture? I'm a fan. You're down bad. That's not a good look. I'm not gonna lie. Like, okay, I would take a picture with Bonnie Blue just for the meme, just so I could post it. If you're a regular schmegular person and you don't do social media, what are you doing taking a picture with Bonnie Blue? That's not a good look.
The accusations are piling up, the funniest of which is that she's had a secret sex change.
So there's now speculation that Bonnie Blue was actually a man.
Bro, this shit is so unemployed, bro. They just found a picture of somebody that looked like her.
Someone called Carl Butler.
Now, Bonnie Blue aside, this is kind of terrifying. We're on like the cusp of indistinguishable AI, and yet boomers are still kind of routinely being tricked by iPhone apps.
Kyle Butler had to change when he was 13 and then became Bonnie Blue.
He thought he was cooking. You did not eat. You burnt the whole kitchen. Get out. Get off the field, bro. What are we talking about? Old heads swear that they know everything. They don't even know how to use Google. They see one Facebook post and all of a sudden they just start running with shit. They don't even know what AI is. Old heads be the biggest conspiracy theorists, bro. I swear to God.
Damn.
Yeah, classic 13-year-old that. The best of us would have fallen for this.
Look at the eyelashes.
In comparison to what's happened this week, all of this is just basically noise. Because Bonnie Blue got in a room this week with a lad called Andrew Tate. I'm not entirely sure who he is.
Fuck Andrew Tate.
He might be a bus driver. I've had a look at his file and it says something about traffic. But this podcast, in theory, is like the culmination of two completely opposing forces coming together. As you can probably imagine, it went exactly how you thought it would.
Who set this up?
Go.
I would argue that a lot of the men who you are gay.
What?
No, it can be intimidating though for guys.
No, it's not about intimidation. They are gay.
Obviously, it's unhinged. I think that might be a given. But at the same time, this might
I'm not going to lie. This is a nightmare blunt rotation.
be the most profound philosophical dialogue of our time.
I'm not going to lie. You crush Bonnie Blue, you're just down all the way bad. You don't even know what you're opening yourself up to, bro. When you see somebody like Bonnie Blue, it's like she's unreal, bro. Like, there's some people who just take this social media shit to the max. What you're not willing to do, there's somebody else who's willing to do it. And she is that person that will do anything for views, anything for money, anything to get on. I want to know what she's like when there is no cameras rolling. I want to know what she's like when she's just chilling at the crib. Probably a completely different person, I swear. She's a succubus. Not even a succubus moves like this, bro. There's no self-respect at all.
And who wants to play with a baby all day, that man is probably gay. It's fucking boring.
Well, it doesn't mean he wants to fuck the kid.
No, he's gay.
I actually had a look at the comments before I started watching this. And it's a long podcast, by the way. This is like 2.5 hours. Unanimously, people seem to just think that Tate let her destroy herself. And with some of these clips and some of these unprovoked responses, it's actually not too hard to believe.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you're not gonna have a thoughtful conversation with Bonnie Blue. Bonnie Blue is not a conversationalist. She's just a fucking dumpster. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, what? Wow, you got one over on Bonnie Blue. You're just so smart. You owned her, bro. Like, what? No. Nizzy has more aura. I appreciate that.
Pussy, don't kill me. Please.
It's not 1500.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's still a thing.
That's all they've ever done.
I would have fucked Hitler to survive.
Even with the blue eyes and the blonde hair, I don't think even he would go there. But it all really comes down to one thing. You just cannot shame the shameless. There's been so many interviews and podcasts recently where she
was wilding in this interview.
Viewer has tried to shame Bonnie Blue.
Out of the 1,000 men, there was a lot of barely legal boys. Mm-hmm. Do you not have a problem with the fact that they're literally borderline underage?
No, because they're 18.
It is poor form, because you could say literally everything correct. You could have the moral high ground on basically every issue.
And you know what's crazy? Like, I don't want to be that guy, but if that was a dude, jail time. I'm talking about, it would be think pieces, full blown on Twitter, on the front page of everything. It would be blasted. Like, you wouldn't even be, like full court press defense. Girls would be playing that defense. The fact that it's a girl, you know what I mean? Like, guys don't really give a fuck because she throwing pussy. It's only a few girls that actually give a fuck. You know what I mean? mean?
You say Bonnie Blue would not be
wants to hit, I don't want to hit, respectfully.
She's impervious to damage. She just keeps walking forward. And almost every single time this happens, she just applies rage bait until the interviewer just self-destructs.
I'm not gonna lie. That's dead the method though. Like if you want to go up, just rage bait. I swear to God, it works every time. Because people will fall for it no matter how dumb it is.
They're still children. My nephew's 18. He's still a child.
I'll send him to me then.
No, I'd absolutely never do that.
Hopefully I'll find him in my queue one day.
No, I don't think you
What?
will, because he has like...
I'll find him in my... Bro, she's just dead ass rage baiting. I'll find him in my queue one day.
respect for himself.
She's a Venus flytrap, and by this point, people should probably know the deal. So with that in mind, a different approach was needed, and that is what we got. He started by paying his respects, and when you're talking to a walking fleshlight...
Clip farming in a podcast is crazy.
This is probably the greatest of respects that you can pay.
So Bonnie's a hoe.
I don't want to insult Bonnie Blue.
You can't insult me.
I mean, you called her a hoe when I last talked to you.
No, I said she was a whore.
In OnlyFans camgirl culture, this is the nicest thing you could have said. They just kind of got straight into it after this. He asked the biggest question straight off the bat.
So what's this about you having a sex demon inside you, Bonnie?
What?
Apparently I've got soulless eyes. What do you think? And wait, sorry, I picture this. Me on my knees looking up to you. Tell me if they're soulless, or tell me if you're hard.
Do you have a soul?
Now, this is a common theme of Bonnie Blue.
He probably crushed. Let's just be real.
People do think she's a sex
What's the
demon.
difference between a hoe and a whore? Come on, bro.
I'm not sure I do. I think she's more like a
difference.
robot or something. Like, it's kind of a tied narrative by this point, but she's soulless. And I think all of that is just a function of selling out your personality. To the average person, that would probably be enough to make you feel a bit standoffish. Obviously, though, she ain't speaking to a random person.
No, I'm not gonna lie though, real shit though. I don't believe in shaming women for them like living their life, because at the end of the day, when you're an adult, you have to put yourself out there in order to find your husband. And a lot of girls, they don't really feel like a lot of guys are ready to be with them. Sometimes you just get caught up in the mix, especially in this time. Like, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing to be out there like that. I don't know. I don't think it's bad, because everybody would want to crush, but they never want to be with the person. But I would say to her extent, hell no, absolutely not. That's beyond that. Like, we all grown, bro. Think about it. You're put on this earth to procreate. You're put on this earth to have kids. It's just a natural feeling that you're gonna, you know what I mean?
Make your own choice. That's a fantastic thing. I actually have a lot of respect for you because you own it and you're honest about it.
Now, in fairness,
and then I feel like back in the day, it was a lot easier because you didn't have access to so many people. Now, the way that like life is, you're not just in, like for me, bro, like I'm not just in my hometown no more. Like, you know what I mean? Like the internet changed the game. Like you're not just staying in one spot anymore.
He might just be trying to secure a contract for his camgo agency. But the amount of respect being given in this conversation is hard to believe. And on that point, because it is a common theme of Bonnie Blue at this point, she went on to talk about her family.
But like my parents, I mean, everyone says my parents can't love me, my family must have disowned me. It's not the case. My family brought me up to be independent and live my best life, how I want to live. And as much as people think that is so shameful, that's disgusting, like my life's become so much better and I'm happy. As much as people think I should be scarred, I could kill myself and everything else, it's like, I am happy. I genuinely live a much better life. So my family are nothing but proud of me. So
are you really happy?
Really, really happy. Happy and
when
wet
you're
most of the
alone.
time.
Now, this one's actually quite interesting because there was another interview in the last week with a guy called HS Tiki Toki. And in this, he obviously brings up the same thing everybody else brings up. But one of the points was about a family. And for the first time ever, Bonnie Blue kind of had a little mini breakdown. I don't think anybody's ever seen Bonnie Blue face before, so it is interesting viewing.
What do your parents say about this?
They generally are proud.
No, they're not.
This one, it's generally boring.
They're not. They're
It's
not.
actually boring me.
They are
I'm
not.
sitting in having the same conversation. Oh, your
They're
parents don't
not.
support you. Oh, they're disgusting.
They can't look at you and think that that's normal.
And I know I said she was impervious, but somewhere deep down, she is, or at least was a human. So she has a breaking point, and I feel like this is it. It must be pushing on some kind of truth, because she weren't having it, and for a girl that will take anything, not having this is very telling.
Bonnie, why are you rattled?
I'm not right. I'm just getting
Sit
pissed
down.
off.
Come on, sit down.
I'm just getting bored.
Take a chill pill. Sit down,
How much
girl.
longer? I'm generally getting bored.
Sit down, girl.
It's the same conversations.
Sit down, girl.
I'm not gonna lie, he got under her skin. That's crazy. And HS Tiki Taki, he's a fucking POS. I'm not gonna lie. This is like the craziest. She just collaborate with anybody, bro. You really think her family is proud of her? I feel like she's just saying that. On social media, bro, it's like you have to like play a character. She's just playing her position to get bread. You know what I mean? She's playing like that soulless, I don't give a fuck, I just want to get dick. She's playing that role. But I told you, man, when that camera's off, you don't know what her family's like. You know what I mean? You don't know what's going on behind the scenes, what she's going through, what stresses her out.
Huh? Nah, I'm just getting
Come on,
bored.
Bonnie, sit down. She can't take being pressed.
I can't take it. I'm just getting bored.
No, you just can't take being pressed. It's fine.
Now, for a girl that has maybe 4 dialogue options, crashing out over repeated questions is pretty funny. And you'll also know as well as I do, the only time you really get agitated when you're being pressed, well, it's when people are circulating truth. You only need to go back to the Andrew Tate clips. So
my thing is, like, if somebody's spamming the same question over and over again, like, why not just be I mean, it's easy to say it, like, when you're removed from the moment and there's no emotions and you're not there, but, like, seeing it from the outside looking in, right? If somebody's asking you the same question over and over and over again and they're not listening to you and they're just talking over you, it means that they're not listening to have a genuine conversation with you. They're listening to respond. So why even talk in the first place? Like, why not just be quiet? I would have just not said nothing.
Everybody else, obviously, this would have been an insult.
I mean, you called her a hoe when I last talked to you.
No, she's good at, like, she's really good at keeping her composure. I'm not gonna lie. I would have folded in a lot of these situations.
I said she was a whore.
So if that ain't phasing her, but the other stuff is, then obviously
Renew! Thank you for the follow, gang. Welcome in.
there's got to be something there. This led me down quite an interesting path, to be fair. It reminded me of the old videos she used to do with her family. Like the ones about her dad, for example. These ones are so insane that it's hard to believe it's true.
Dad say about it?
Honestly, he loves it. Like, obviously doesn't sit watching
Really? Really? He loves it?
the videos, but like all my social media, my TikToks, he'll have a look at, and he's just proud seeing how
Proud of what? If you were her dad, would you be proud? Keep it a buck. What would be the situation to make you, like, okay with this? It would have to be the money. Like, she'd have to be throwing them, like, bread. Like, you have to get at least, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna need at least a meal. What's another 17 more years? Yo! You really on your Omni-Man shit? You would have just abandoned. I'm not gonna lie. Low-key, I'd have been on the same shit. I would have dipped. Milk run. Sorry. But she's grown. It's over with. Bonnie was in LA. I wish I was in line to clap. No, the fuck you don't. If I find out you hit Bonnie Blue, you're banned out my shit. I swear.
I've no doubt that it could be real. The bloodline is corrupted. Even the person she claims is her mum went on the Reality Check podcast. What are the chances that both...
Wait, her parents are making podcast appearances?
If your parents are on board. Pretty low, probably. Pretty low.
What was it like after cleaning up after the bang?
Messy. Hundreds of condoms, boxer shorts, tops.
I don't believe it. I refuse to believe that this is her mom. Hell no. She cleaned up after her and did a post-game interview on a podcast? Oh, fuck no. Hell no.
Bed sheets, wet bed sheets.
So even when you hear, that she slept with 158 guys in 2 weeks.
It's just part of a job, and that's
tolerating it because it's your daughter is one thing, but like reveling in it and going on a public platform and talking about cleaning up, again, it is
R.I.P.
too insane to be true. And pictures do actually exist in the public domain of what is confirmed to be her mum. I may just be being optimistic, but this has to be
you think this is actually her mom though, or you think she playing into the skit?
Paid actor. I mean, you tell me. I'm no expert on facial features or anything, but it does make so much more sense to me that she would just be hiring actors to spite her real family. That would all tie in because it would make sense why the family question is so touchy. By the way, this wouldn't be the first time she's done exactly this to someone close to her.
Her estranged rugby player husband, Ollie Davidson.
What? She had a rugby player husband? Wait, why she look better back then?
Exactly this to someone close to her.
Her estranged...
I'm not gonna lie. Look at her eyes. That shit had to have scarred her, bro. Look, she actually was like smiling. She didn't look soulless. Look, that looks like PTSD.
Recently insisted that Ollie supported her new career and even worked with her behind the scenes. A friend has told the Mail that he believes privately educated Ollie is furious with his wife and wants nothing to do with her.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's from
she's lying.
Tabloid, the Daily Mail, which has about as much credibility as Bonnie Blue. One thing I did also notice is in that interview where she crashed out, one of the people walking around with her in her entourage behind the camera, it was the same bloke from the podcast with her mum. Stinks of just a setup, and either way, I feel so bad for the family. Either they are unapologetically the most tapped people in Britain, or they are complete victims of their daughter, and every time she speaks, the knife is twisted more.
I mean, I guess I contradict myself a little bit because I help society out a lot. And I do that because do you see how many dicks I drain? How many balls I've been emptied out on my
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's fucking cooked. I'm not gonna lie. She was wrong with society. What are we talking about?
How many pies I've taken and scooped it out.
And how does that help society?
Sex workers help, reduce rape rates by over 30%.
That sounds like a stat you just made up.
Yeah, you know what? At least the interviewer is not allowing her to say anything without any pushback. And I think she kind of hit a brick wall with this because then she realised she weren't justifying it. With that in mind, she did what she does. She went straight back to default settings.
Like, I'd happily take an 18-year-old on their birthday. Like,
Why?
closer to 18. I just want them, you know, to be young, innocent. I want to strip them from that. I
Yeah,
want to
steal
take
their
their
innocence.
I want to watch
Like
their
Shang
toes curl up as they come for the first time from a girl. Like,
What? Dude, this gotta be rage bait. She's saying that like with her whole chest.
I love that. And I also think it's educational. So
She really does just have like NPC dialogue options. I must have heard this at this point about 1,000 times. Bonnie Blue, I might be your parents because you've disappointed me. And the disappointment, it only really gets worse as you go on.
for me walking around shooting people up, disruptive. I'm not doing that. I mean, I'm taking their loads, but I'm not shooting up. And really, probably if I drove through London Bridge and ran people over, I'd probably get less press than 1,000 people.
True.
Society hide all the
True.
shit that's going off.
True.
As soon as it's
True.
a sex worker, because it's not really damaging news, but they push it out there because they don't want to show what's really happening.
There you have it. Bonnie Blue was a victim of the media and of
Oh my god, bro. Why they keep saying this?
society. I mean, she's definitely a victim, but just not in the way she thinks. I genuinely can't tell if she's actually stupid or just playing up to it. It's probably a mix of both.
She's definitely playing into it and running up a bag. What? How much money you think Bonnie Blue is running up every month? Millions. Let's just be real.
But I guess we'll never know. And this is all kind of made worse by the fact that she recently got in a beef and somehow won.
Like I ordered a cameo,
She got in a beef?
and I've accidentally got the strangest Christmas gift I ever could have asked for. But yeah,
Hey Alex, I do a lot of crazy events, which I know
Why
you're
is
aware
she
about,
sitting
but
like that?
nothing as crazy as threatening to bash my ex in with a brick.
Now, I've already used this analogy,
What?
but I'll use it again. Getting stomped on from the moral high ground by a walking fleshlight. I mean, that might be a new low. The term's thrown around a bit, but that is a new low. Don't worry, though. They made up.
I let somebody enter me that couldn't even buy alcohol from the shop.
Okay, yeah, I'm done. Other than that, YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, man. Let me know your thoughts. Y'all think she's breaking down? I don't think so. No, it didn't seem like it. It just seemed like she was hella annoyed, bro. How long does Bonnie Blue really have left? I don't know.